Life.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So I'm back with another video for you guys. Now, in this particular clip, this woman is talking about building a dating app that will require men to pay a deposit in order to date the women. Now, the funny thing about this is not my first time hearing this. I've heard several women talk about this, talking about charging men to date them. But now this particular woman has taken that idea and now she's putting it into action by actually creating an app that what you would have to put a deposit down in order to date the women that you might be interested in, baby. See, this is where I say the men are going to have to stand up. This is where the men are going to have to show up and show out in a way to prove that this is not what they're about. If this app comes out, in my opinion, and it blows up, it's men who are out here desperate in this case. If men blow this app up and pay these deposits to date these women, then there should be no more complaining about women, you know what I'm saying, finessing men and using men for money. It should be no more complaining about that, because that is a signal that you will be sending to these modern day women that they can just, they can finesse you. Listen, before we hop into the video though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you like the content, share and like the video and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. But let's actually hear what she has to say. Here we go.
After I said I would require a deposit to take me on a date to cover my date preparation costs.
Now this looks like AI, y'all. Now that I'm looking at the video, this actually looks like an AI video, but let's just hear it out. Here we go.
I'm now working with an app developer to make this a reality. This is actually happening. We are building the app. I'm not even exaggerating when I tell you this is the best damn dating app you have ever seen, because there is a clear difference here where the woman can set the deposit rate and the man can pay for her date preparation costs. So as a woman, you're going to walk into the date already so happy, and that's going to lead to a better date and a better connection, and that gives the man a better chance of succeeding in courting you. The app is called Courted. So when people ask, how did you meet? You can say, he courted me. So cute. The website already looks absolutely stunning, and the app itself, incredible. All of the features are so unique and nothing like you've ever seen on any dating app. So we are going to launch this city by city, and if you want early access, click the link in my bio and sign.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. This is insane. But guess what? Let's see how it pans out. You know what I mean? Look, I'm not saying, hey, it might be a good idea of her coming up with that, because I've heard many women talk about charging and putting deposits to date them. But now this woman is, if this is true, she's actually, putting together an app to make it real, to where, listen, you go on this dating app and you got to pay a deposit just to talk to the women, baby. What are we in the Twilight Zone? And the audacity, this is what I'm saying. A lot of women are very delusional, and they really believe that men will support this. But once again, and I stand by what I said before, if you have men in droves supporting this, then it says a lot about the men, that men aren't really standing on business the way they say they are, especially on all through these social media apps and on these platforms. You know what I mean? If the same way I feel about OF, and that's dwindling, because a lot of men are not patronizing that the way they used to. So, there's no, in my mind, there's no need or reason for a man to have to go and pay just to have a conversation with the woman. The thing about it is, it doesn't mean that you're going to have a connection. It doesn't mean that you're going to even like the person, but to get a date with them, you got to put a deposit. And then is there a more cost on top of that? You're going to have to pay for the date, because they're looking for you to pay for everything. So it's just another way to try to finesse men out of some money. So you're going to have to put a deposit, then pay for the date, pay for everything, because that's what's expected of you. Then if this doesn't pan out, if she's not your cup of tea, if she's not interested in you, then she's going to move on to the next person. And you're going to have to do this all over again. Oh my God. And how much are these deposits going to cost? What's the deposit amount? Because everything is expensive when it comes to women. So what is the deposit going to be? But if these women once again think that they could finesse men, they will. This is where you're going to see if this is going to be a hit or a miss, because the men are in control of making these things popular or not. Because it's all up to men. Just like the clubs are losing money because a lot of men are not clubbing anymore. They're not going out. They're not spending money on these women. And all you see, for the most part, because you still see, women and men like couples out and stuff like that. But for the most part, they're saying that they're losing money because men are not patronizing the clubs the way they used to. And they're not paying for drinks and paying for these women the way they used to. And it's a bunch of women that's out. So, if that is happening, if there's a shift in that way, and men are really not trying to patronize this foolishness, then this app should never get off the ground. It should not go any further, because men are the ones who either going to make this successful or not. And if men make it successful, then once again, and I stand by it, don't complain about the state of women, the modern women, and they just want your money and all of this, because then this would prove again that there are still a lot of men out here looking to simp for these women, baby, because that's all it is. Simping and, it is. And shout out to Queen of Accountability, because I saw this on her page, on her Instagram page, and she called it that. And that's just what it is, because you're basically selling yourself for a date, selling yourself for whatever the man could offer, selling yourself to the highest bidder. Because that's what it is. There's no way in the world man should have to put a deposit just to have a conversation with you or a date. And then I'm like this, okay, if you want to charge a deposit, let that deposit go toward the date. If you got to pay a deposit, then the deposit should take care of the date. So he shouldn't have to come out of his pocket to pay for the date as well. If he paid a deposit, then the woman should pay for the date. But I think if we're getting to a point now where it's just ridiculous, where women are still expecting men to pay for everything, it's just ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have men out here who aren't doing that and who aren't willing to do it, but just to expect that off rip, just to get to know you, to have a date with you, a conversation, that's crazy to me. And then expect a man to pay the most and do all this stuff to impress you. And then for you to turn around and say, nah, I don't think it's a match, because a lot of these modern women, and I'll stand by this too, they are entitled. They're entitled to what it is that they want. And if you can't give it, then it's easy for them to move on, because once again, they live in this delusional world where they have all the options in the world. They don't care about your feelings, and what you want is all about them. And if you can't deliver, then on to the next. So you're going to be wasting your money paying for an app just to date somebody that could easily just say, oh my God, you too short, next. Oh my God, I don't like his hairline. Next. Oh my God, look what he got on. Look at his shoes. Next. I don't like how he talk. Just for minuscule things that they could nitpick at and move on to the next. And how many times you gonna repeat that cycle, losing money? You got money to just blow, then go ahead. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting if it gets off the ground, just to see how many men are gonna run to pay to date these women. So listen, to each his own. At the end of the day, listen, I ain't gonna guilt trip you or shame you too hard. But come on now, this is crazy. Only to me, a person who would take that measure to go just have a conversation with a woman, to me, that sounds desperate. And I'm just saying. And these women will find ways to try to finesse. Since men aren't pursuing a lot of these women or approaching them, they got to find another way to get y'all attention. And so if you see these women on a dating app, they present themselves one way. And then when you meet them in public, they show something else. And you're going to go pay to sign up to figure out that this person is not what you're looking for, is insane to me. But listen, once again, to each his own. If that's your thing and you got the money to blow and you don't mind doing it, okay, I can't be mad at that. If that's your choice, that's your choice. I'm not going to be mad at your choice, but I will say it'll send a message to these women, because these women, once again, they already have a delusional mentality. And they already believe that this is what they should be doing. And for men to patronize it in droves is only going to heighten their delusion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Y'all chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend, it's DeeDeesReactions. It's DeeDeesReactions. DeeDeesReactions. Later.